at the current rules and come back in a while with a way to maybe strengthen up that current law.
The officers that police the UC campuses have been given the green light to go buy more weapons and equipment, drones, bullets, pepper balls. LA Times says it's part of this annual request approved by the Board of Regents. Comes after criticism, lawsuits over how demonstrations were handled and shut down last year. UCLA, UC Irvine, Santa Barbara, San Diego, San Francisco, they all asked for more. San Diego, one of the most. Police there say they needed 5,000 new rifle rounds to replace what was used in training.
Building a wall in San Clemente, a 1,400-foot wall. It's the latest move to try to keep the trains running along the coast. The Orange County Register says the Transportation Authority is working with Metrolink on this emergency action. The wall will be on the bluff side of the tracks at Mariposa Point, where the pedestrian bridge collapsed during a landslide a couple of years ago. Passenger rail service not expected to be affected during the construction. 7-Eleven.
Simmons Subaru is one of the largest volume Subaru dealers in the area, with more new Subarus available for you. Come in today or reserve yours online. Simmons of Long Beach. SimmonsSubaru.com.
California Dreamin'. At Sit and Sleep is something we're proud to say we've helped more Southern Californians do than any other mattress store.
Right, Dad. From helping people say night-night in Northridge to falling fast asleep in Fullerton. Over 2 million Angelinos have trusted Sit and Sleep to help them get the deep quality sleep they need to be their best every day.
As a locally owned family business for 3 generations, we're committed to treating every customer who walks in our door and every dedicated employee who works for us like family.
That's why we're so proud to say that our mattress experts have been part of our Sit and Sleep family for an average of over 10 years. And only Sit and Sleep has bed match technology that scientifically measures you for just the right mattress.
So if you want to live the California dream every day, count on the mattress store more Southern Californians trust to do their California dreamin' every night. Sit and Sleep.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
If you think your homeowner's insurance is shorting you and you want someone to stand up to them, you should call public adjuster Abner Gatt. Abner and his team will negotiate with your homeowner's insurance for the best settlement. Call Abner Gatt now, 818-917-5256, abnergatt.com.
Have you heard the refinancing rule of thumb that says you have to drop your rate at least 0.5% to refi because it'll take several years of savings to recoup the closing costs for a refi? The Loan Exchange says the rule is nonsense. With a Loan Exchange free closer, you can lower your rate without paying any cost whatsoever. That's right. Lower your rate with no cost, and your balance doesn't go up. You start saving on the first day you have the loan, and every day thereafter. If you decide to move next year or rates drop further, you can exchange that loan for another without losing a dollar that was tied up in closing costs. Today's 30-year fixed free closer rate in APR is 5.625%. So if your current mortgage rate is higher than 5.625%, give the Loan Exchange a call at 855-752-9944 or log on to theloanexchange.com. It won't cost you a thing. NMLS 1637539. Loan subject to credit approval. See website for licensing information, loan terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. Call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Good morning. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Coming up on KNX News, 97.1 FM, pulling Kimmel off the air. Is it a First Amendment issue? What makes it a First?
Good morning. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Coming up on KNX News 97.1 FM. Pulling Kimmel off the air. Is it a First Amendment issue? What makes it a First Amendment issue? Pulling Kimmel off the air. Is it a First Amendment issue? What makes it a First Amendment
It's a tough drive, and now it was drizzling before. I got a couple folks calling in saying it's coming down pretty hard for the Sepulveda Pass, a 405 stop in Sepulveda. That's another issue there. That is just really, really slow. And your 101 from Tampa now backs up all the way over to the 405 freeway, and we still have that signal that's working here. This is the 5 North, right at the 134. They extended this. You got at least 2 right lanes blocked here. Earlier, big rig crash, and that's what's got you slow coming out of the Atwater Village area. So you're going to have some delays there. Now listen, if you're heading north on the 5, you're continuing north, you got a lot of slowing just past Hasley Canyon, because up ahead just past Hasley Canyon, we've got a crash, and this is blocking one of your middle lanes, and that's really making a rough drive on that 5 as you head into the state. All right, the summer sales event now on at Downey Hyundai. Great deals on all models, including Sonatas, Elantras, and more, plus get America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles, and owner assurance program. Hurry in to start your deal online. You can do that at DowneyHyundai.com. Come see what makes us great. SoCal's other reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Still have some rain out there. It's kind of drifting, but we can get some more popping up as we go through the afternoons because it's so sticky and humid out there. 7:17, more on ABC and Jimmy Kimmel and the White House.
There's more work to go, but I'm very glad to see that America's broadcasters are standing up to serve the interests of their community. We don't just have this progressive foie gras coming out from New York and Hollywood.
That's the FCC chairman on Fox News talking about all this. He was on the Benny Johnson podcast before Kimmel was pulled, and the quote from that was, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." So here we are at free speech versus government pressure. Bob Korn-Revere, one of the top First Amendment lawyers in the country, live on the line with us now.
Bob, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Vicki. Good morning, Mike. Happy to be here.
We spoke earlier this morning with a former ACLU attorney who said this: the government may not indirectly do what it might not directly do. She sees the apparent pressure of the FCC chairman as the First Amendment problem here. Do you agree?
That's exactly right. And it's something that the Supreme Court unanimously affirmed just last term, saying that you can't do by pressure and threats what you could not do by passage of a law. And by the way, I should add, even the FCC's authority to regulate in the public interest would never support this kind of direct action to suppress content that the FCC chairman simply dislikes.
So if that's the case, what happens? What can you do about it other than say, well, this shouldn't happen, because the word should is a lot of wiggle room in that word?
Well, it does depend on people standing up for their rights, like all rights. They don't just get self-enforced automatically. And so when major corporations capitulate to the FCC chairman, then there's not that much that can be done.
Well, you know, we're going to have a protest in Hollywood today. You're going to have people in the streets. Everybody's talking about it, you know. But in the end, it has to be a legal fight, does it not? And then if the companies are not fighting the fight, who funds the fight?
Well, in the end, it has to be a legal fight. I agree with you. But keep in mind, history is written by the people who stood up for the rights and who pushed back. And even though you'll see examples of people giving in, ultimately someone will stand up. Maybe not in this case, but in another. And ultimately, the government abuse of this kind gets restricted.
You said capitulate. I mean, does capitulation lead to more capitulation? There was the ABC News settlement with George Stephanopoulos, then the Paramount-CBS merger and people linking that to Colbert, and now Nexstar wants a merger because they want to get more TV stations. They were the first to say, we're going to replace Kimmel. So it gets into a kind of cycle.
Well, it does, and that's part of the problem. It's one of the things that's always been dangerous about FCC having authority over broadcasting. We don't have that for any other medium in America. You certainly don't have it for the traditional printed press. You don't have it for the internet. But you will periodically see government actors trying to exert pressure in one way or another. And ultimately, it does end up in court. And if you compare this to, for example, to the law firms that were pressured by the administration through executive orders, many of the law firms capitulated, but there were 4 law firms that didn't. And they are the ones who received court judgments upholding their rights. And as I say, history is written by the people who push back and stand up for their rights.
I'm going to have you guess for a minute. The president has sort of targeted Jimmy Fallon now and Seth Meyers and put them on notice, right? You could be next. How far do you think the administration will take this?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, we're already seeing historic levels of this kind of abuse, and so it's hard to imagine what the limit is. What you do see is a war on comedy. You see a very sensitive administration not wanting to be laughed at, and so looking at various ways to put pressure on anyone who would say that the emperor has no clothes, like South Park. And so, you know, I don't know what the limits are, but sooner or later they will be going too far.
Bob Corn Revere, one of the top First Amendment lawyers in the country. Thanks.
One of the top First Amendment lawyers in a South Park.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Bob.
Perfect. Traffic, no. Money news. Meta unveiling their new smart glasses. Here's Dan Schwartzman.
That's right, Mike. Meta has unveiled the $799 Meta Ray-Ban display, the company's first smart glasses with a built-in screen in the right lens, which can show users text messages, video calls, other displays as well. The primary interface for the glasses is now hand gestures detected by a neural wristband strapped around the wearer's dominant hand. Glasses will be going on sale September 30th. Starbucks employees in so far 3 states, including California, filing lawsuits over the company's dress code put into effect last spring. The dress code now requires workers to wear black shirts under their green aprons, with Starbucks providing 2 black shirts to every employee. Now, the suit claims that the company refused to reimburse workers who had to buy new clothes. Workers also filing complaints with California's Labor and Workforce Development Agency. Markets right now all looking pretty good. Dow's now up 188 points or 0.4%. S&P's up 46 points or 0.7%. NASDAQ flying high, up 233 points, a great gain of 1.1%. I'm Bloomberg's Dan Schwartzman for the Barrister Office Suites Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM. Why do you listen to KNX?
Oh my gosh, every morning, traffic and weather, every 10 minutes. And then, of course, you're where the news is at. So wherever John Barry is, that's where we want to listen in.
Southern California's news is KNX News 97.1 FM.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save, but in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today, 310-905-5030. 310-905-5030.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability. Issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states, as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
There we go! Count on Sunday with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. This is incredible! Watch your local NFL game live all season long. And he's in for a touchdown! Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Protect your home from earthquake damage. Call Golden Retrofit for a free inspection. 888-999-0609.
A pilot program for public toilets in Long Beach is apparently working out pretty well. So the city has decided to extend the contract with the company that provides them. This is Throne Labs, which says its goal is to become the Uber of public toilets.
We're building a sparkling clean, smart bathroom network so that a bathroom is never more than 5 minutes away.
Each one requires a cell phone to enter, and the door automatically opens after 10 minutes, so get in and get out. Otherwise, they are free to use. They also have sensors that determine how often each one is used, which is pretty often. So the Long Beach Post says city leaders there think it's worth it to keep the 3 most popular toilets in place at least through October of next year. Several other states and LA Metro also use these Chrome Lab toilets. 725.
Traffic now brought to you by Cars for Kids. Brian Douglas.
I know that 405, it's a crawl coming out of the valley. Normally you get a little speed at the top, but you don't. At sunset, 2 right lanes crash. That's still working here. They're see on the camera barely that they're wrapping things up. We do have rain that's slowing things up as well. From Sherman Way, it's slow, and it really stays slow all the way up and over the hill, unfortunately. If you're on the West 10, just past La Cienega, we've got a catering truck blocking one of your middle lanes. Just conked out there. Your 10 West, which was already slow, now going to be slower. The backup begins just past Vermont. On the westbound side of the Santa Monica 10 freeway, we have this issue. There are actually 2 separate crashes on the 91 right around Long Beach Boulevard, in between Long Beach Boulevard and the 710, affecting both directions of your drive. You can have some right lanes and maybe a left lane in both directions blocked there if they haven't cleared that already. So that's what's causing that slowing. 105 as you go eastbound, just past the 110. This is an injury crash working here in the carpool lane. And then up ahead, past Long Beach Boulevard, yet another crash with injuries, and I believe they might have just cleared that off the roadway, which is good news for you. So that eastbound side is pretty slow. In Orange County, if you're on the 57, earlier problem's gone, that's the southbound side from Lambert on down to about Nutwood Chapman. That remains really tough. And Jose, thank you. If you're leaving town or maybe just heading from Newberry Park down to Conejo Grade, you got a pretty bad crash halfway down the grade, blocking some middle lanes. Really, really tough there. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, whether it's running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
And SoCal's own the reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Mike Simpson here for Advanced Hair Restoration, because if you are losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, this is it. Because you want the best. You want modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something guaranteed to work? Yeah, that's Advanced Hair. One of the first things you see on AdvancedHair.com is this review that says, this is me, but from 10 years ago. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, they fix it. And they do it all with a simple one-day treatment. Nice, calm, relaxing environment. And again, the most experienced doctors right there by your side. Advanced Hair has done tens of thousands of these breakthrough treatments. It's your own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. And it's really easy to get started with the free consultation, 844-333-HAIR. If you qualify, you also get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with a team that has redefined hair restoration. You have to see these before and afters, picture and video reviews, and the facts page, AdvancedHair.com, 844-333-HAIR, 844-333-HAIR. Go for the Advanced Hair Guarantee, AdvancedHair.com.
Well, it's that time of year a lot of us look forward to. Football, it is back. It's Brian Douglas for Prize Picks. And Rams, Charger fans, you know every game counts, so you won't want to miss a moment of the action with Prize Picks. Prize Picks, really easy to use, simple to play too. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you cash in. That easy. Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Saquon Barkley, whoever, whatever team you're looking for, whatever sport you're thinking about, it's there at Prize Picks. And Prize Picks invented Flex Play. My son and I do this, which means you can still cash out. Even if your lineup isn't perfect, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit too. Download the app today. Use code KNX to get $50 in lineups. After you play your first $5 lineup, that's code KNX to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Join millions of users, including myself and my son, and sign up today. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit Uline.com.
Video and Audio Center. Enjoy the big games and first-run movies streaming right to your home. Samsung, Sony, LG, and more. Our prices are lower than other authorized dealers, plus free setup. Touch it, feel it, see it. Samsung's most affordable 98-inch, limited time only, now $18.97. The Samsung OLED TV, a true statement of color, 42 to 98 inches. And now get the 65-inch, $1797.99. Sony 77-inch OLED TV, $24.98. LG OLED TV with savings up to $1,000, plus free setup. Video and Audio Center. Big game deals on now.
Accident, old injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
From the DTLA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is LA's Morning News.
On KNX News, 97.1 FM.
SoCal's only 24/7 connection.
Good morning, 7:30. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Sound of a little rain hitting the windshield there in Orange County. Our Pete Demetrio says they're keeping an eye on the burn zones around Southern California just in case.
Brian Lewis with the National Weather Service out of Oxnard says this pattern of tropical moisture and thunderstorm activity will cover a wide area of Southern California for the next 18 hours or so. But the risk of the Palisades or Eaton fire zones being hit with enough rainfall to cause mud or debris flows is fairly low.
There's certainly a risk. It's about a 15% chance right now that we reach these thresholds that would trigger some of this more significant flash flooding on those burn scars. But again, the peak rain rates are going to vary pretty dramatically between where there's a thunderstorm, which will be much higher, versus where there are no thunderstorms.
But the city of LA isn't taking any chances, and the people who need sandbags, sand, or both can pick them up at fire stations 19, 23, 69, and 71 in Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, and Bel Air. The people should call their local fire stations first to make sure there are supplies on hand. In addition, 2 LA City Swiftwater rescue teams will be on standby if needed to cope with flooding anywhere in the city. In downtown LA, I'm Pete Demetrio, KNX News 97.1 FM.
All right, what do you think about it? ABC and Jimmy Kimmel, the show was pulled over what he said about Charlie Kirk. Let's go live to Hollywood now. There's going to be a protest later today aimed at Disney and the White House. Here's our Craig Signer.
Yeah, good morning, Mike. That protest 4:30 this evening here, Hollywood Boulevard, and outside the El Capitan Theater. That's where the Jimmy Kimmel Live show would normally be recording tonight, but it is dark and dark indefinitely. ABC pulling the show over Monday night's broadcast where Kimmel took issue with people who embrace far-right politics, saying that they're trying to score points connected to the Charlie Kirk assassination. The Trump administration, the chair of the FCC, Trump's appointee, they didn't like this comment by Kimmel, and so ABC pulled the show indefinitely. I talked to this guy who says, hey, this crosses the line as far as he's concerned.
Once again, we got to protect our First Amendment. He didn't say anything from what I listened to. I think I listened to it once last night, and I'm like, I don't see a cancellation, a right to cancel his show. I don't know if they said indefinitely.
Yeah, they said indefinitely, which it doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good, and I'm wondering if he makes a public apology, would they, reverse that whole cancellation of the show indefinitely?
So this is just like a tidal wave, fast moving. Yesterday with the ABC's cancellation, which was preceded by a cancellation of the show or pulling of the show by a broadcaster known as Nexstar. You may not know the name, but they're a huge conservative company across America. They have the largest number of ABC affiliates, so they don't own they own the stations, but they don't own the network, so ABC licenses to them. But they were the first to say, we're not broadcasting Kimmel, and then that lit a fire under ABC execs, and very quickly they pulled the show indefinitely.
So yeah, a lot of talk about freedom of speech, and we talked about that with Nadine Strossen this morning, former president of the ACLU. Now she's a professor at New York Law School, and she told us that ABC didn't violate Kimmel's First Amendment rights by pulling him, but the government may have if they pressured the network to take him off the air.
The United States Supreme Court has said that government may not indirectly do what it may not directly do. So if it turns out that the reason for the decision was government pressure, I think there's a great deal of evidence that that's what's going on here, that is a very serious First Amendment problem. And I really have to underscore that it's a First Amendment problem whether you agree or disagree with what Jimmy Kimmel said or not.
We also talked with First Amendment lawyer Bob Korn-Revere, and he says there needs to be some pushback to get change.
Well, in the end, it has to be a legal fight. But keep in mind, history is written by the people who stood up for the rights and who pushed back. And even though you'll see examples of people giving in, ultimately someone will stand up. Maybe not in this case, but in another. And ultimately, the government abuse of this kind gets restricted.
He says we are seeing historic levels of this kind of abuse from the government. 7:35.
And Brian Douglas, Downey Hyundai Traffic Center.
Well, that 405 crash at Sunset is third. Thank you for all the calls. Most of you are going by northbound saying, hey, it looks like it's done. And it is. So you got your right lanes back. Damage done. 405 is just a crawl south of Roscoe Boulevard. Really tough. And, of course, adding the rain into the mix here, going to slow things up even more. Sepulveda is really tough this morning. Most of our drives are going to be slower than usual because of the rain and the wet roads. So I'm sure you planned and you know as soon as you got out of your house this morning, you know it's going to be a slow drive. On that 10, this is the Santa Monica 10. Still about some sort of catering truck, a roach coach here in your middle lane, just past La Cienega. So that is, that's got you slow from Vermont on that westbound side. Eastbound's kind of sluggish already. I'll tell you what's really slow is our 710. I think it's just weather related. Southbound side from the, even before the 60, it's pretty slow all the way down the Firestone. Your northbound side, really tough off the 105. And then southbound still sluggish south of the 105 freeway. And again, I think it's all weather related. If you're on that 105, though, eastbound, just past the 110 freeway, heads up for a crash here. Now they're telling me it's in the far right lane. I think it's originally in the carpool lane, the far right lane. 105 east, past the 110. Yes, there is some slowing because of that. 55 southbound through Orange County, through Orange, I should say. Tough right at Chapman as you make your way down to the drive. That's one of the slower drives you got going on. And some good news for Ortega Highway. We had a pretty bad crash right by the S-curves before the, this is westbound. You're going westbound, your lanes were blocked by the big S-curve a little bit before the RV park at the candy store. That is cleared. You still have some slowing, but Ortega Highway looks like it's back open in both directions.
A key CDC committee is beginning a high-stakes two-day meeting. The Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices will vote on changing recommendations on shots against COVID, hepatitis B, and chickenpox. CBS's Mark Strassman is at CDC headquarters in Atlanta.
A number of new members on the panel have questioned established medical research on vaccines in the COVID-19 pandemic. But the CDC and HHS, now both under the control of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., said these appointments reflect the Secretary's commitment, quote, to transparency, evidence-based science, and diverse expertise in guiding the nation's immunization policies.
The changes at the CDC prompted California to join Washington, Oregon, and Hawaii to put out their own vaccination guidelines based on the recommendations of medical groups.
President Trump says he's going to designate Antifa as a terrorist organization.
On Truth Social, President Trump posted, quote, I am designating Antifa, a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster, as a major terrorist organization, unquote. The president added he is recommending those funding Antifa be investigated. Antifa, which is short for anti-fascist, is a loose affiliation of mostly left-leaning groups. Trump made a similar announcement during his first term, but did not follow through on the designation. His latest threat follows the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump and the British Prime Minister are holding a news conference now as the president's visit to the UK winds down. The leaders have already signed a new partnership agreement called the Tech Prosperity Deal. President Trump says the deal further builds on the special relationship between the U.S. and the UK.
Today we're making those ties closer than ever before. We've done some things that financially are great for both countries. And we work together, and it keeps us together, and I think it's an unbreakable bond we have.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer says it's groundbreaking.
It's a blueprint to win this new era together. Shape it according to our shared values, and seize the incredible opportunities that are on offer.
The two leaders held a roundtable with business leaders as they signed the agreement.
The president also talking there about Charlie Kirk.
Just last week, a great American, Charlie Kirk, was heinously assassinated for speaking his mind. He was a great young man, incredible future. Some people said he might be president someday. I told him, I said, Charlie, I think you've You have a good shot someday at being president. And he just wanted to take care of youth. He loved youth. I've never seen anybody relate to youth like Charlie, and they related to him.
He also says he will be in Arizona to go to the Celebration of Life at State Farm Stadium in Glendale this Sunday.
Small businesses that sell imported goods are scrambling because of a major change in U.S. trade policy. Brian Ping has the story.
The U.S. has ended the de minimis exemption. Shipments carrying under $800 worth of items used to be exempt from customs inspections, but no more.
It's a seismic shift.
That's logistics expert Vincent Iacopella. He notes you'll still be able to easily order that T-shirt or frying pan from your phone with perhaps a slightly higher price tag, but it totally changes the business model for those who buy a lot of these items for resale. He says we could see these small businesses form partnerships to arrange for one combined shipment that pays one duty and then gets divided and distributed stateside.
I think it's an avenue for smaller folks in consolidation, but even the big guys are wrestling with the consolidation question, right? Because now I still have direct-to-consumer boxes. I still have them labeled, right? I'm putting them together like the old days. I'm putting them together, bringing them over in bulk. Maybe as a broker, I'm not filing 180 de minimises. I'm filing 5 customs entries now.
Another option for sellers is to use carriers that allow them to prepay import fees, which streamlines the shipping process. An estimated 1.4 billion shipments entered the U.S. last year under the de minimis exemption. President Trump ended it to collect more tariff revenue and to crack down on drug trafficking. I'm Brian Pang, KNX News 97.1 FM.
741. If your homeowner's insurance doesn't want to pay you enough to fix your home after water damage, you should call public adjuster Avner Gatt. Avner and his team will negotiate with your homeowner's insurance for the best settlement. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, avnergatt.com.
With chaos on the news and uncertainty in the markets, are you worried your retirement savings could be at risk? This is Tom Mosley from the Right on the Money show, heard on KNX 1070 here, and founder of Mosley Wealth Management. Many retirees are asking, what's next for my financial future? If you've been asking that, it's time to take action. Come in and sit down with our team so we can review your financial plan and make sure that you're prepared for the challenges ahead. Just call us for a free visit. Together, we'll work to create a strategy to help you preserve what you worked so hard to build. But don't wait. Call us today at 855-526-0045 to schedule your visit. Because you're a KNX 1070 listener, there's no cost to meet, but our calendars fill up quickly. Call 855-526-0045. That's 855-526-0045.
If you're serious about protecting your home and the people inside, start with your front door. SecurityScreenDoors.com installs CrimSafe, the gold standard in security screen systems. With a patented screw clamp design and tough as nails stainless mesh, these doors are nearly impossible to kick in or force open. Whether you're home alone, heading out for the weekend, or watching the grandkids, you deserve to feel safe. These doors are built to deliver exactly that. Real security and peace of mind. Don't just take our word for it. Check out the 5-star reviews on Yelp. And when you call, you won't get a call center. You'll speak directly to the owner or his son, and they will meet or beat any authorized CrimSafe dealer price. SecurityScreenDoors.com. Built to protect your home, trusted to protect your family. Call 888-928-9000. 888-928-9000. 888-928-9000. Or visit SecurityScreenDoors.com. Have you heard the refinancing rule of thumb that says you have to drop your rate at least 0.5% to refi because it'll take several years of savings to recoup the closing costs for a refi? The Loan Exchange says the rule is nonsense. With a Loan Exchange free closer, you can lower your rate without paying any cost whatsoever. That's right, lower your rate with no cost and your balance doesn't go up. You start saving on the first day you have the loan and every day thereafter. If you decide to move next year or rates drop further, you can exchange that loan for another without losing a dollar that was tied up in closing costs. Today's 30-year fixed free closer rate in APR is 5.625%. So if your current mortgage rate is higher than 5.625%, give the Loan Exchange a call at 855-752-9944 or log on to theloanexchange.com. It won't cost you a thing. NMLS 1637539. Loan subject to credit approval. See website for licensing information, loan terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. Call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com.
Your older home is at risk for earthquake damage. Protect it with a retrofit from Golden Retrofit. 888-999-0609.
Good morning. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Coming up on KNX News 97.1 FM, we've got your Thursday roundup, things to do in Southern California.
Traffic now at 7:45, brought to you by Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Brian does.
Long plane problem on the 5 North, right as you get to the 134. It was a Stigler with a big rig. That's gone. They just canceled that, so you got your right lanes back. That's good. That's been here well since, I believe, the 2 o'clock hour. And this was due to the rain, slick roads. We had a big rig smack into that right shoulder and came jackknife. The 5 North lanes are open at the 134, and that backup is gone, finally. 170. Now, all the backups on the southbound side of the Valley Victory is where things get tough for you. And the 405, of course, really tough. Just past Roscoe Boulevard. Your DTLA Law Group Accident Injury Attorney's route you can trust now. Sepulveda is going to be extremely slow. That backup on Sepulveda almost back to the 405, where it scoots underneath the 405 by Valley Vista there. Probably better off sticking with the freeway. Now, the freeway is extra slow because that crash at Sunset on the southbound side is cleared. But for a while, you had 2 right lanes blocked. Still have this issue on the 10. This is going to be a catering truck of some sort just past La Cienega, blocking one of your middle lanes. This is going to be the westbound side of the Santa Monica 10, so really tough coming out of downtown at this point. You get a little bit of a break off that 110 before, then it gets really slow. Again, 405, really slow as well. Here's the Westminster starting at Golden West, like it usually does, and they slow down towards the 73. The rest of Orange County is okay. Besides this volume, going to see extra slowing because of the slick roads. That 5 from Beach Boulevard, slow as you make your way southbound. And just a heads up again, I don't want to come back to this crash. So you leave in Thousand Oaks. It's the Conejo grade about halfway down. It's a pretty bad crash, blocking 2 left lanes, and that has that northbound 101 back up almost to Lynn Road. Yamba Resort Casino San Manuel welcomes the return of soul singer Al Green to Yamba Theater October 2nd. Tickets now at the casino box office, YambaTheater.com. Al Green at Yamava October 2nd. Got to be 21 to get in. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 7 minutes on the 5 from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Moisture from remnants of Tropical Storm Mario will peak today and then decrease as we head into the weekend. Showers and scattered thunderstorms continue to move northward. Could see some heavier rainfall likely later on today through the early evening. Flash flood watches will come into play for the mountains and deserts because as we're tracking the system, if we do see thunderstorms pop up, it could bring heavy rain in a short amount of time, and some of these areas could see rainfall up to 2 inches. So that's why the flash flood watch has been issued. Highs today, 79 for the beaches, 83 for LA and Orange County, 86 for the valleys, upper 80s for the Inland Empire, mid 80s for the high deserts, upper 60s for the mountains. And that's your next weather forecast. I'm KCAL News meteorologist Amber Lee for KNX News 97.1 FM.
Hey, SoCal, you need to get out more with KNX.
From foodies to rock bands to symphony lovers, Thursday has something for everyone. Here's Natalie Davidian.
Downtown LA's Level 8 is throwing its festival, an over-the-top night of unlimited eats, live vibes, and a VIP open bar that'll turn dinner into a party. If you like your music loud and raw, 9 Inch Nails are taking over the Forum with their Peel It Back tour. Expect the kind of industrial rock that rattles your ribcage. Prefer nostalgia with a beat? Howard Jones is in Anaheim celebrating 40 years of Dream into Action with Haircut 100 and Richard Blade spinning the memories. And in Costa Mesa, Pacific Symphony opens its season with Rachmaninoff's Soaring Piano Concerto No. 2, a night of pure power under the baton of Ludovic Morlot. So whether you're feasting in LA, rocking out at the Forum, reliving the 80s in Anaheim, or soaking in the classics in Costa Mesa, Thursday night is not about staying in, it's about picking your adventure. I'm Natalie Davidian, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Group of 100 retirees putting their money together to buy as many buildings as they can in Little Tokyo. Bill Watanabe telling KCAL News last month they closed on a multi-billion-dollar building on First.
When we got this building, the previous owner told the tenants here that they sold the building and someone else has bought it. And the first thing they said was, are they going to jack up the rent? And so I think we can surprise them and say, well, actually, we're the best landlords you can hope for because our goal is to keep your rents reasonable.
He says the Little Tokyo Community Impact Fund, they have that plan to buy as many properties as possible to stop investors who don't care about the community's history from swooping in.
More evidence this morning that holiday shopping may not be as strong.
A new MasterCard forecast predicts holiday retail sales will rise 3.6% this year compared to 4.1% last year. Even online sales growth will be slower than it was last year. MasterCard says with inflation still a concern and the tariffs kicking in, pricing will matter more. Shoppers will be looking for more discounts and promotions.
That is CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace. 7:50.
Latest jobs report, stronger than expected. Here's Dan Schwartzman.
That's right, Mike. The latest report came in stronger as initial jobless claims dropped by the most in almost 4 years, as initial applications for unemployment benefits, according to Labor Department data, fell by 33,000 to 231,000 in the week ended September 13th. The drop unwinds a large jump in the prior week when initial claims rose to the highest level in nearly 4 years. A new study shows that Eli Lilly's Mounjaro weight loss shot helped kids as young as 10 control their blood sugar and lose weight. Lilly has submitted the results of the study to global drug regulators, hoping to expand the drug's use to young patients with type 2 diabetes. Results showed the shot reduced their blood sugar levels by an average of around 2%, while they lost more than 10% of their body weight after a year of treatment. Markets right now all looking good. The Dow's up 175 points or 0.4%. S&P's up 43 points. That's an increase of 2/3 of 1%. NASDAQ rolling right now up 241 points, an increase of 1.1%. I'm Bloomberg's Dan Schwartzman from the Barrister Office Suites Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM.
When you're stuck in LA traffic,
We get it. You just need to know why.
Every time I call in and I ask a question about a certain roadway, you guys answer it in your next traffic report. You guys are freaking awesome. I love you. Thank you.
tell us where you're stuck and what you see at 844 KNX News.
Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Your 15-minute drive-through oil change.
Hi, Al Rantel for Hollywood Suits. I couldn't believe my eyes when I went to Hollywood Suits. First of all, they have thousands of suits just in my size. They supply the industry with suits that are sold in stores all over the country for 4-5 times more than what you're going to pay at the Hollywood Suits. You get 3 complete suits made of the finest wool fabrics on earth. What is it, $599? It sounds unbelievable, even at that price. For 3 suits, they throw in 3 cotton shirts, 3 ties, belts, socks, and handkerchiefs at no extra charge. That's not 1, but 3 merino wool suits with all the accessories for $599. They've also got designer suits at the Hollywood Suits from Armani, Canali, Salvador Lorente, George Austin, and more, all at the lowest prices anywhere. They fit everyone. The Hollywood Suits, 3 gigantic locations: Hollywood, Torrance, and Westminster. Or call 800-SUITS-99, HollywoodSuits.com.
The We Make It Easy sales event is here. So now's the best time for a great deal on a new Toyota. Choose from the biggest selection of the year with the biggest savings. Drive home the all-hybrid Camry with its striking design, a trail-conquering Tacoma 4x4, or an adventurous RAV4. So hurry into your Toyota dealer. The time to drive home your new Toyota is here. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
Now it's easier than ever to find the Toyota that's just right for you at Toyota.com. You can explore our full lineup of vehicles, compare features side by side, search our available inventory, see our latest offers, find a dealer. You can even build, price, and accessorize your Toyota right online. So for your next Toyota car, truck, or SUV, just visit Toyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is Jacob Emrani. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB.
National Cheeseburger Day. So guess what? A lot of places have deals going. And usually, you know how it works. You get on that app. They love that.
I don't think the Apple Pan has an app.
Oh, the Apple Pan. I know, I don't see In-N-Out on this list either, but anyhow, McDonald's, they've got a double for 50 cents. Burger King, free bacon cheeseburger with a $1 purchase. Applebee's, they got a burger plus fries, $8.99. Anyhow, anywhere you go.
You didn't do Red Robin.
Red
You're
Robin.
supposed to go yum.
Big yum burger deal, $9.99. So if you're going out today and you're getting some food and you want some kind of discount or something, get a cheeseburger.
Dolly Parton had a kidney stone.
Dolly Parton posted a video message to X explaining why she couldn't be there to announce a new ride at her Dollywood theme park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
I had kidney stones which caused me a lot of problems. Turned out to give me an infection, and the doctor says you don't need to be traveling around this minute, so you need a few days to get better.
The 79-year-old says she was there in spirit and hopes to be back at Dollywood soon. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Yeah, people who've had kidney stones, it's really painful. With a diagnosis of dementia, a condition that is currently incurable, you may not consider rehabilitation as a possibility, but one group is trying to change that.
The World Alzheimer Report says that rehabilitation must be at the heart of dementia care, just like it is for cardiovascular or respiratory diseases. The report says that studies conducted in the U.S. show that family-focused occupational therapy improve daily function and reduce caregiver burden. Alzheimer's Disease International says these are tools to build upon existing strengths. The group says the barrier that remains to making it more mainstream includes lack of awareness, which the World Alzheimer Report aims to address. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
7:55.
And traffic, Brian Douglas.
Got a lot of it out there, so make sure you take your time this morning. Some of the roadways still slick. We still have some rain coming down in certain spots. If you're on the 60, this is going to be westbound before Paramount. Trucker Rob, thank you, confirms we do have a stall there. It's going to be in one of your middle lanes. So 60 west before Paramount Boulevard. You're already slow back to Hacienda Boulevard, so that's kind of a tough drive already. Even eastbound, I know we had a problem past Azusa Avenue. This was a crash. It was in the far left lane. I think they moved it over to the right shoulder, but still have a little bit of slowing there you're going to have to deal with. 210 slow from Grand over to Azusa Avenue, and still sluggish after that. Little break from Irwindale Avenue to the 605. After that, your slowing begins as you make your way into downtown Pasadena. If you're on that 91, we had two separate crashes, both east and westbound, just on the other side, between Long Beach Boulevard and the 710. Everything is clear, but that westbound side of the 91, really tough, really from the 605, and kind of stays sluggish from that point over to the 110. That transition to the north 110, extra slow, but it just looks like volume. Doesn't look like there's any crashes or anything else you need to worry about. Your 405 still recovering. Had a problem at Sunset, and had pretty steady rain as well, so that South 405 still really tough southbound. As you make your way from Roscoe Boulevard to Sepulveda, don't do it unless you're there already. Stick with the freeway, at least at this point. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
So we got the humidity. We've had rain this morning, had a lot overnight. Still could get some showers or thunderstorm activity as we move on through this afternoon. Maybe a chance tomorrow, but mostly it's the mountains, especially by the time we get into the weekend. But 70s into the mid-80s for today.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan today, 310-905-5030. 310-905-5030.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Video and Audio Center. Enjoy the big games and first-run movies streaming right to your home. Samsung, Sony, LG, and more. Our prices are lower than other authorized dealers, plus free setup. Touch it, feel it, see it. Samsung's most affordable 98-inch, limited time only, now $1897. The Samsung OLED TV, a true statement of color, 42 to 98 inches, and now get the 65-inch, $1797.99. Sony 77-inch OLED TV, $24.98. LG OLED TVs with savings up to $1,000 plus free setup. Video and Audio Center. Big game deals on now.
The John Deere Gator XUV lets you cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, seed, pull, load, tow, spray, and haul, all in a single day. Because with the highest cargo box volume in its class, customizable features, and a towing capacity of up to 4,000 pounds, it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at your John Deere dealer or visit johndeere.com/GatorXUV.
With great deals coming this Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th, greatness is a deal away. So if you love baking, you can get a deal on a new mixer, transforming you into the Lord of the Loaves.
Hear ye, hear ye. Make
way for the Baron of Brioche, the Sultan of Sourdough, the Lord of the Loaves, Prime Member Steve!
Yeah, hi?
Get up to 40% off with Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
KNX FM and HD Los Angeles.
This is Southern California's news.
The Jimmy Kimmel suspension, all the reaction to it, a protest this afternoon. We got it all coming up.
Yeah, there's some new information this morning on the case of that teenage girl who was found dead in the back of a Tesla.
Hot and humid today with the rain. Had a lot overnight. Still could get some more as we go through today.
Only on KNX News 97.1 FM.
8 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Chafin. President Trump applauded the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel's show by ABC on social media, and he just commented in the UK.
Jimmy Kimmel was sorry because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk.
Trump, with the British Prime Minister by his side, says he disagrees with the UK's plan to recognize a Palestinian state, and he's disappointed there's been no end to the war in Ukraine.
The one that I thought would be easiest would be because of my relationship with President Putin. But he's let me down. He's really let me down.
The U.S. and U.K. signed a test deal. Many Hollywood performers and labor unions are reacting with outrage to the news that Kimmel's late-night show is off the air indefinitely over a remark Kimmel made about the suspect in the Charlie Kirk killing. CBS's Jonathan Bigliotti.
Reacting to the news Wednesday night, President Trump called it great news for America. Kimmel has routinely taken aim at the president in his late-night monologues, and he's subsequently been a target of Trump's ire, including after CBS announced it was canceling its late show franchise with Stephen Colbert, citing financial concerns.
A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from immediately deporting Guatemalan migrant children. In Atlanta, reporter Sabrina Cupid tells us vaccine advisors are meeting at the CDC.
The 2 days of meetings are important and could impact who gets certain vaccines and whether or not insurance will cover them. According to the agenda, the panel expected to discuss the MMRV vaccine this morning, and then this afternoon they'll take up the hepatitis B vaccine. Right now, that vaccine is recommended for all infants and most adults. The panel may decide to delay the vaccine for infants.
CBS's Michael Wallace has a holiday shopping outlook.
A new MasterCard forecast predicts holiday retail sales will rise 3.6% this year compared to 4.1% last year. Even online sales growth will be slower than it was last year. MasterCard says with inflation still a concern and the tariffs kicking in, pricing will matter more. Shoppers will be looking for more discounts and promotions.
Toyota is recalling more than 500,000 vehicles. Jeff Gilbert of affiliate WWJ Detroit.
The instrument panels may stop showing important information like speed and various warning lights. A number of relatively new models are affected, including the Toyota Highlander and RAV4, as well as several Lexus models. Dealers will perform a software update.
Starbucks workers in 3 states have filed a lawsuit saying the company violated the law when it changed its dress code and did not reimburse workers for buying clothes. Wall Street, the Dow is up 117 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
From the DTLA Law Group's Injury Health Studios.
This is LA's Morning News.
On KNX News 97.1 FM.
SoCal's only 24/7 connection.
Good morning, 8:03. I'm Mike Simpson.
Here in Hollywood this afternoon, you're going to see some protesters right around the place where Jimmy Kimmel usually films his late-night show. This is in response to him being pulled off the air. We get more live this morning from Hollywood and our Craig Signa.
Good morning, Vicky. Pulled off the air indefinitely. That decision, a snap decision made by ABC executives yesterday. This evening, 4:30, we're expecting, what could be a large protest here on Hollywood Boulevard outside the theater, the El Cap, where Jimmy Kimmel Live typically records, but with the show off the air indefinitely, the theater will be dark tonight. People are very unhappy about it. Kimmel, on Monday's broadcast, said that people who are aligned with far-right politics are trying to score points with the Charlie Kirk assassination. The show, of course, is recorded, and that wasn't edited out. Apparently, ABC censors didn't didn't have issue with it at the time, but when it was broadcast, the Trump administration did, and well, that lit off a firestorm, led to the show being pulled indefinitely. Here's one guy who thinks, hey, ABC made the right call.
Well, I don't know. I think ABC made the right decision because, like, Jimmy Kimmel will sit there and roast people and do all this thing. It's not really educating our youth or helping them at all. Like, in the long run, is watching Jimmy Kimmel going to help them in the real world? Because it's not going to. You know what I'm saying? I just think that, I know I'm a lower guy than Trump or whatever. I'm down here on the ground in Hollywood.
Well, he's one of the people who's, consumer of broadcast television, so his opinion certainly matters. A lot of people, though, in fact, the majority this morning I've been talking with, they are really concerned, believe that the Trump administration has really exerted improper influence. The president and his appointed leader of the Federal Communications Commission, who, kind of had a veiled threat that potentially broadcast licenses could be in jeopardy, and merger deals as well over this issue with what they took offense with what Kimmel said. Back to you guys.
This is a surprise to a lot of people, including guests who are going to be on the show, like Wanda Sykes.
I'm in a full face of makeup because I was supposed to go over and have a chat with my friend Jimmy Kimmel.
She was posting on social media, criticizing the president, saying he didn't end the wars in Ukraine or Gaza, but he ended free speech in its first year, and then posed with this.
Hey, for those of you who pray, now's the time to do it. Love you, Jimmy.
Chris Wallace is getting a star on the Walk of Fame a little later this morning, and it'd be interesting to see if he has anything to say about this. Also, you've got out there speaking Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jay Leno. It's like the perfect storm of people. So see what happens.
Get the microphone. Traffic, Brian Douglas, Downey Hyundai Traffic Center.
So we're going to start with La Cienega. A lot of folks take that right at Stalker. I know you've got the light there, and southbound you don't stop at the light. But a pretty bad crash, one car on its side, and this is affecting everyone. So Stalker is going to be heavy just as you pass the entrance to the park here, Kenneth Hahn. Northbound loads up just past Slauson, and Stalker is almost a parking lot westbound coming away from La Brea. So you got a crash here affecting all directions. Stalker, north and southbound La Cienega as well. So that's going to be a tough one for you. That crash on the 10 West, we had one just at Robertson, a little bit past La Cienega. That's clear. The backup is still here, westbound from Vermont. Still going to remain really, really slow. Your 405, I'm going to go back to the 405. We had that issue at Sunset. We had the rain. It's still backed up on Roscoe Boulevard. I heard from Johnny. He's been on the 405. He came from the 118 to the South 405. Been on the 405 almost 2 hours. Yeah, I've been hearing that. It's been taking well over an hour to get out of the valley on that South 405. Still really, really tough, unfortunately, for your drive. 110 gets heavy at Manchester if you're heading northbound. Southbound a little slow through South LA like it usually does. And as you transition to that West 105, you've got some slowing there you're going to have to deal with. Orange County drives, for the most part, it's just plain slow from Magnolia 22 East into the Crush. The 405 southbound from Golden West, you've got some slowing from that point all the way down towards the 73. A lot of that just, all of that just volume. I hope no crashes. And your 57 southbound, if you're coming into Orange County, slowdown for you begins past Pathfinder and from that point kind of sluggish all the way down into the Orange Cross.
Yeah, getting rain today, the remnants of Tropical Storm Mario, and Pete Demetrio says it's producing occasional light rains, thunderstorms all day long.
The unsettled weather pattern means some areas of Southern California could get almost no rain, others could get thunderstorms and a lot of rain, according to Brian Lewis with the National Weather Service out of Oxnard.
The most common in terms of totals that we're expecting are probably less than half an inch, but again, those thunderstorms, if they go over your area, it could be up to 2 times that amount.
Is it the idea that all of a sudden a cell comes over and you're not getting gentle rainfall, you're getting hose?
That's exactly right, and we did see several cells, mostly in the mountains, that we saw some rain totals. I think the highest we saw was about half an inch an hour.
People in areas like the Palisades and Eaton fire burn zones have been warned about possible mud and debris flows. The odds of that type of rain hitting and causing that is about 15%. There are sandbags available at LA City fire stations. Call first to make sure they're there, and 2 LA Fire Swiftwater rescue teams are standing by just in case they're needed. In downtown LA, I'm Pete Demetrio, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Would you rip up all the plants right near your house? They're talking about something called Zone Zero today in Pasadena, meeting of the State Fire Board. This is defensible space for the houses in high fire zones, and some people are really worked up about it because these 5-foot wide buffers around homes or other buildings could mean no landscaping there. So grass and shrubs, mulch, other plants, off limits. There would be new rules for trees. Supporters say you got to do it to protect the houses. The critics contend that changes are being pushed by insurance companies just to limit the liability. This is at 10:30 this morning, Pasadena Convention Center.
We have some new information this morning in the case of that 15-year-old girl. Her body was found in the trunk of a Tesla. TMZ now says it looks like the singer, David, is in what they call the crosshairs of the LAPD. There was a search last night at a home in the Hollywood Hills. Homicide detectives walked out with a computer and several evidence bags. TMZ is reporting that David seemed to be living in the house that was searched. And he canceled a show in Seattle last night. So far, he is still scheduled to perform at the Greek Theater this Saturday.
Beverly Hills has got some problem with people out in the streets, middle of the road, taking a bunch of pictures, looking for the palm trees. They call them the palm tree tourists.
It's like, okay, I need to take a photo here because it's so beautiful.
Out-of-towners and influencers on Rodeo, Beverly, Cannon.
Definitely taking a risk, because I drive through here all the time. And it's sometimes people are in the middle of the street and you have to honk.
The city manager telling KCAL News, it's always been an issue, it's just getting worse, so they might have to start citing people.
We hope it doesn't get to that, but if we need to go there, we will. At the end of the day, this is a hazard for everyone involved, the pedestrians in the street and the drivers as well.
Conundrum. Beverly Hills Council recently debated this designated photo island. Yeah, you can go to that, but then they worried, no, that's going to make it even worse.
I like the word conundrum. It's like kerfuffle. It's like
your other word.
E-bikes back in the news in Huntington Beach. City council members there, they've been talking about tightening up the rules because, as council member Gracie Vandermark puts it, the current rules aren't getting the job done. These bikes are everywhere.
There are people getting ran over on the sidewalk with these e-bikes, and they're so heavy. I refuse to ride an e-bike because I can't carry it. I can't hold it.
So the new rules being considered would mean that e-bikes near schools and churches could only be used on city streets or in bike lanes. But Councilman Chad Williams says he's concerned about some of the kids being pushed out into the path of traffic.
The real offenders, I think, in our eyes are these kids that are riding out in the street, doing the wheelies, doing no helmet, flipping people off. And then you can see these timid kids that they're going to school. And they probably were instructed by their parents, like, please try and stay off the road.
Council asked the police chief to take another look at the issue, come back with some recommendations. According to the Voice of OC, the Huntington Beach High School District already has a safety training program that permits the kids to ride an e-bike to school. It's 8:12.
Kenneth Subaru is one of the largest volume Subaru dealers in the area, with more new Subarus available for you. Come in today or reserve yours online.
Timmons of Long Beach. TimmonsSubaru.com.
It is the warming season. Yes, we are in it again. Termites swarming around. They are looking to colonize your home if they haven't already. It's Vicki Moore for Pacific Coast Termites. And maybe you've seen some of their gross little droppings on a windowsill or wood floor. Wings dropped on the ground. You suddenly seeing those around going, ooh, what's this? Or termites just kind of swarming, crawling around your window saying, let us in. You probably have an infestation. So don't wait. Call Pacific Coast Termites today. Get your free, thorough inspection of your home or business. And then if you decide to get a treatment after that from Pacific Coast Termite, you get 10% off and a 2-year warranty. Plus, you mentioned my name, Vicki, get an extra 50 off. Pacific Coast Termite, they are convenient and effective, and yes, they treated my home. They use orange oil and Altracet. And what that means is they don't put a big tent over your place, and you don't have to move out, because that's a big hassle, and there's no poisonous gas. Pacific Coast Termite, they are working from San Diego to Santa Barbara, and the number is so easy to remember, 800-PACIFIC. Call them today. That's 800-PACIFIC. PacificCoastTermite.com. Some restrictions apply.
This year's senior class is back at homecoming, reunited and protected with mNEXSpike, the new COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna for adults 65 and older. That's because these seniors know they face the highest risk of severe COVID. mNEXSpike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA, is a COVID-19 vaccine for people 65 and older and for 12 to 64-year-olds at high risk for severe COVID. You shouldn't get mNEXSpike if you've had an allergic reaction to a previous Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. Common side effects include pain at the injection site, tiredness, headache, muscle or joint pain, chills, nausea, vomiting, and underarm swelling or soreness. mNEXSpike may not protect everyone. This year's senior class came ready with a COVID-19 vaccine that helps them keep showing up. mNEXSpike from Moderna, here for the senior class. Visit mNEXSpike.com to schedule your vaccine today. That's mNEXSpike.com.
For a limited time, LADWP customers can double their savings on qualified used electric or hybrid vehicles. Combine LADWP rebates with federal tax credits and get up to $8,000 in combined incentives. But only if you buy by September 30th. After that, rebates drop to $4,000. So don't wait. Visit LADWP.com/EV today and start saving. That's LADWP.com/EV.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, and eBay Complete.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter, right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Good morning, I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Coming up on KNX News, 97.1 FM. Some people around LA County got West Nile virus. First time that's happened this year.
Trying to build that wall in San Clemente to help the entrance. 8:15, brought to you by your Socal Toyota dealers, Brian Douglas.
Well, a lot of us seeing the sunshine right now, beautiful blue skies, Orange County, the IE. There's still clouds out there. Don't get me wrong, still a chance of rain, but a lot of you enjoying a little bit of sunshine if that's what you like. If you like the rain, you have to come over here to the Valley. You have to come over here to Thousand Oaks, Newbury Park, Westlake. I mean, this is where we're starting to see that rain come down pretty heavy on the 101. Also affecting that crash. We had a crash southbound side, Conejo Grade, still affecting, or I should say Camarillo, or Conejo Grade. I'm right. I get them confused sometimes. Southbound side of that 101 is going to be tough coming away from the 23, and northbound side also really tough coming into Newbury Park. So that's what's going on there. And of course, the heavy rain's not helping anything. I heard from George, he was on the North 405, went to the East 101. Your 101 is slow. The Ventura is going to be slow in the Valley. It loads up at Tampa, before Tampa, and that eastbound side pretty solid all the way to the 134, to the 101 South Hollywood split there. So yeah, even westbound, we're going to be slowing. That 405 still a bit of a challenge as you come out of the Valley due to earlier problems that have long since gone. So if you're on that 91 westbound, my buddy Matt let me know we had some slowing right around Knott Avenue over to or towards Valley View. A little break there, then starting at Artesia Boulevard, West 91, still slow over to the 110 freeway. If you're on that 605, southbound side is heavy from Lower Azusa down to the 60, and then some more slowing as you make your way from about Rose Hills on down. Again, some of the roads still wet, especially on the west side of town and maybe into the San Fernando Valley. So please take your time if you're out there. And I want to come back to the Hollywood Freeway. From Victory, it's tough all the way to Universal City, and then slow again starting at Santa Monica Boulevard into downtown. Be the toughest on the road and off-road with a brand new Toyota Tundra with iForce Max Torque, 6 tons of towing. It's ready whenever you are. And wherever you're going, head to your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Showers, isolated thunderstorms possible for the rest of the day. We even have a flash flood watch for the mountains and deserts, because if we do see a band of these thunderstorms take up over these areas, a lot of rain in a short amount of time could amount to up to 2 inches. So this is something that we're watching really closely. This is measurable rainfall that we haven't seen since March from this year. So that's why that next weather alert I've issued continues through tomorrow. Highs today, 79 for the coast, 83 for LA and Orange County, mid-80s for the valleys, upper 80s for the Inland Empire, mid-80s for the high deserts, upper 60s for the mountains. And that's your next weather forecast. I'm KCAL News meteorologist Amber Lee for KNX News 97.1 FM.
The jury in L.A. quickly found the protester not guilty of assault on a Border Patrol agent. Here's Larry Burrell.
The federal trial against Brian Ramos Brito lasted 2 days. He was accused of striking a federal agent during a protest in Paramount. Happened across from a Home Depot outside Homeland Security offices in June. LA Times reporter Brittany Mejia was in the courtroom and says the top brass came in for Chicago Tuesday to testify for the government.
Border Patrol Secretary Chief Gregory Bobino flew in yesterday to testify that he witnessed this defendant assault a Border Patrol agent, and a jury still ended up acquitting.
Mejia says jurors told her after the verdict, prosecutor for missing a key piece of evidence.
They were telling me that there was no video that actually showed what was being prosecuted. All they saw was the Border Patrol agent shove the defendant. There was no video that actually captured him pushing the agent back, which is what prosecutors were charging.
And that, she says, is why jurors ruled in favor of Ramos Brito. I'm Larry Porrell, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
The LA School Board says 4 more years for Alberto Carvalho as superintendent. Vote to renew the contract unanimous, still working on details, but he had this to say about his salary, $440,000 a year.
So I want to be very clear with this board and this community that there's nothing to negotiate. I'm not seeking, nor will I accept a salary increase as part of my compensation or additional benefits. My contract is what my contract is, and the most important contract I have is with the beautiful community of Los Angeles, our staff, our students, and our families.
He's also saying hardship in the future, sacrifices ahead, because all the experts say that this has got these long-term financial challenges.
Really quickly, since we talked about this earlier, the health officials have confirmed the first human cases of West Nile virus in LA County this year. 4 patients ended up in the hospital, and this is Antelope Valley, San Fernando Valley, and Central Valley.